right here, the Kevin Allen Show. Ironhawk Financial, Joseph Lombardi, managing partner. Give him a call today, 203-815-3673. You have any financial needs, anything you need advice on and consulting on, make sure you're investing your money smartly. Make sure you reach out to Ironhawk Financial. Let Joseph Lombardi know the Kevin Allen Show sent you. And hello. Here we are. Welcome to this Monday edition. We are actually filling in right now for Lucretia Hughes, the real news down there in Georgia. She's in Washington, D.C., so she asked if we would jump onto her live stream that she does every day. We haven't been doing a consistent show for a very long time. A lot of inconsistencies around here, but definitely the one thing that we'd like to get back to is getting content out there and talking to Lucretia. We're going to try to share the way we spread the word of our type of our form of media, right? And so hopefully I get a thumbs up from David here that we're good down there in Georgia, streaming live onto their platforms as well. But it's interesting because there's so much in this country going on. There's so much in the world going on right now. Obviously in Israel, there's nothing that we could talk about more than the savages that are actually beheading children from Hamas and how that reaction is. And of course, we've seen in our own country, many of I guess they call them the squad. I think they call them a squad. They're standing up in support of Hamas. And I just want to ask you out there, is this something that makes sense to you, that we actually have people in office? Okay, Dave gives me a thumbs up. We're good to go. We're streaming on Lucretia Hughes's platform. So if you guys are popping on Lucretia's site and you're wondering what's going on, who's this guy? My name's Kevin Allen. I am the host of the Kevin Allen Show, the CT Cowboy. We've had a platform for about 4.5, 5 years almost, and we've been bringing it to you each time we come out here. We try to do better and better. We have a platform that also loves to do long-form interviews. So every now and then you'll see me pop up doing interviews with different types of guests. Love to have a different kind of conversation. And I think Lucretia is a safe place for that. So hopefully your viewers, Lucretia, they appreciate us as we are on. And folks down there, if you're looking to try to find us, just type in the Kevin Allen Show. It's ALAN. It's ALAN. Okay. The Kevin Allen Show, CT Cowboy, and you'll pull up all of our sites. Everything's scrolling right here. You can click on there as well. So Israel and the obvious issues that are going on in that part of the world are interesting. And it's interesting to watch the reaction of some of the people that are playing the political game right now. And some people, not some people, but some people in movements, the Palestinian LGBT TV people, whatever they are, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but they're coming out and supporting Hamas. And it's kind of interesting because anyone that knows anything, Hamas would behead these people, right? Listen, anybody who thinks that if you're going to outwardly be something different than what the Hamas group looks like, just envision a terrorist, whatever that looks like to you. They don't take kindly to this movement that America seems to be encouraging in some way. And it's interesting even more that people actually in the movement in America, LGBT, whatever they are, Hamas supporters, and they'd kill them over there. They walk around Palestine with the high heels on and a wig on. They would be murdered on the street in seconds. But yet they march around this country freely and they throw these slurs and these words and all this kind of it's actual nonsense. So a big part of this conversation is I have two relationships with two different, very diverse people. One is Jonathan Goldstein. You've seen him on the show before. He's come on here. He's one of the friends. He's been on this journey with me since the beginning, traveling around the country. And Jonathan is obviously not just very actively in Connecticut. He's got a political opinion. Well, Jonathan also happens to be a Jewish man with direct connections to Israel. His dad actually just dropped an op-ed. I wish I had put it into this show because it'd be something interesting to the perspective, right? And then I have another friend. His name is Martin. And Martin is he's an average guy. He's a Palestinian, lives in America. He's a hardworking family man. He's got a few kids. He's got a few businesses. And I have these two gentlemen in my life, and I found it, I was just sitting back. I've had a lot of time lately to sit back and think and listen. and really evaluate these types of things that are going on and think more about like, how is it really possible in 2023, going into 2024, that there are people that could really find satisfaction in beheading a child? They tell me that. Whoever can answer that one. Nice iced tea, because you know I don't drink alcohol. Can't make me go drinking. Devil's been beating me up every day, and I still haven't drank alcohol. I think you can do it too out there. So make sure you don't put that alcohol into the iced tea cup. All right. Hamas does not care. They don't care if you're a child, infant. They were slicing. They were chopping the heads off of children, babies. They were locking children into cages, and they were murdering adults, seniors, elderly people, mothers, pregnant. The scene is horrific, folks. And if you haven't heard about it, you haven't seen it, you're living with your head in the sand. But yet I get back to this squad, this group of congressional representatives elected by their peers. Elected by their peers is the interesting part. Who elects somebody that would go to Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States of America, who could stand up? Who elects that person who could stand up and support this horrific craziness in the Middle East right now, in Israel? Who can support it? Who can vote for that? Tell me who votes for that kind of person. How does that person go back to their constituents and say, hey, I had a bad day and I made the wrong decision. Maybe I shouldn't have supported Hamas or stood up and threw the flag, the Palestinian. Now, it's one thing to throw a Palestinian flag. See, this is where we're watering it down too. And I don't know where the comments are. Dave, you're going to have to handle comments on your side. I don't know what's going on over there. And I don't even usually do them on this side. But if there's comments, we love you having the comments. Make a comment, drop something in here, like, share, and support everything Lucretia Hughes is doing as I'm on her platform. But how do you justify to your voters when you go back, to ask them to give you confidence? I just don't understand it. I just am confused. I don't care what end of the day it is. If people were killing Palestinian children, if the Israel soldiers were going in. Now, I've been told, and this is a topic for another conversation, because another time I don't have the information. I won't go out and mislead. But I've been told that Israel's soldiers have done vicious things. It just doesn't get reported. That's what you hear from those people in that part of the world. Now, it could be true. War is ugly. And bad things happen in war situations. And this has been an ongoing war since the beginning of time, folks. This has been, go right back to where it all started, And if you don't think that this has a lot to do with it, you're crazy. You think about all the things that have gone on over the last year or so, the fires in Hawaii, all these traumatic events that have been taking place across this world. And on a special day, They attack, the Palestinians purposely attack, the Hamas attack Israel's innocent people. And yet there are some people in our congressional seats right now that believe it was okay and they should support them. And they think that wiping out the Jewish race would solve their issues. I'd like to know what you think. You think that's a sane person that actually thinks that way? I don't think so. Politics is rearing its head right here in America as well. And some of the things that play out of the situation in Israel with the Palestine, Hamas, is playing out into what's going to be the 2024 election. It's very interesting. Now we're hearing Senator Joe Manchin, who is stepping down from the Democratic Party, is now considering running as an independent in 2024. And this is key. And I got to tell you, I think there's going to be more Democrats. And I just, for the record, want to tell you, I read the AP Press. I read some other periodicals. I do not watch news anymore. I don't watch it. I occasionally will pick something up if it's in front of me and if I really feel desire to do it. But I find that reading about the information is the best way to do it. And certainly Joe Manchin has been somebody who has been collecting a lot of attention because his swing vote is a Democrat senator. He's almost guaranteed to win. And if when he announced he was walking away, I think the Democrats were happy that they would maybe get that seat in a Democratic hands again, and Joe Manchin would endorse him, whoever's running. But now it looks like he's going to run as an independent, which is not an endorsement for any other candidates, by the way. And I think if the Republicans were smart, they would not run a candidate for Senate against Joe Manchin. I'm just going to say it like it is. You secure that guy in the seat. And, this is the time where we are in our country's history, folks. And if you don't understand it, let me brief you. We don't need those R's and D's anymore separated, okay? When you get somebody like a Joe Manchin that can come to that middle ground, he's willing to leave his own party. The Republican Party better think out of their head, out of their useless box of tools to start winning some things in 2024 and get Joe Manchin, elected again and secure some common sense in the Senate out of that seat that could be vacated as he leaves. And if a Democrat gets elected, it could be a very dangerous thing. And if an extreme, I don't know, whatever Republicans, there's some wacky Republicans too, but Joe Manchin is what we know. And I'm not an advocate I'm always about term limits, but in this time in history, when we have a presidential election that is going to be very, very important. It is the most important election. You hear it all the time, but this election coming up in 2024 is going to determine the future of this country for every American. Every American living today, every American born in the next 10 or 20 years is going to have a direct effect on what takes place in the 2024 election. And, it looks like Trump, Donald Trump, his campaign is steadfast in the approach they're doing. He's not on the big stage with the debates, and he's probably doing something smart there because it's really a circus. I have not watched, but maybe a couple minutes of it. And I saw early on Chris Christie, just an embarrassment of a human to be that devilish, to take people's money just to get on a stage, just to perpetuate, the angry, unhealthy guy in the room kind of attitude. It turns people off. And I think everyone knows it, but no one's really in the Republican Party actually doing anything about it. Wouldn't it be nice if the Republican Party stood up and said, you know what, this is nonsense. We know the best possibility. I don't like the guy, or I like the guy, or whatever, is this one guy. This guy who was the 45th president has a chance to come back. I think that would be the smartest thing for the Republican Party to do. Do you think they're going to do it? I don't think so either. Biden's campaign launches an account on Trump's Truth Social saying, converts welcome. I give credit to the millennial 20-something, whatever they are, years old, who is millennial. Are they millennials 20-something years old? I'm probably older now. But give credit to those who actually thought of that. That's a very, very cute thing to go on Truth Social. I'm actually impressed by that. But Joe Biden didn't do that himself. There's no way. But I was impressed by that. So I could get into sports and some of that other stuff, but I don't really think that's my thing, right? So let's just stay away from it. But let's talk about a little bit back to Hamas, and we're going to tie in the Ukraine. And so when you think about what's going on down, across the world in Israel, and these attacks, this horrific attacks that have been taking place, and the amount of people that are dying daily, and the amount of people who are going to die in the next few weeks is astronomical, because they are actually wiping out. It's almost like genocide in a sense of taking out generations of people, because there is not a whole lot of people in Israel, the West Bank, the Gaza Strip. There, you're not a plethora of people, but it is a very big tourist trap. And think about that tourist location. Like, people from around the world want to go to the Mecca. They want to go and they want to walk the walk, and they want to go there. And this is obviously has a major effect on that as well. I'm not sure. I'm not certain where this thing goes, but I do know that there's interesting tie-in, because some of the information was coming forward in the beginning of this conflict that took place over 2 weeks ago. This vicious attack on the Israel, civilians, was indicating that many of the weapons were used or are being discovered to be used out of the Ukraine. And I'd like to ask, if that's the case, like, we've been funding the Ukraine $40 billion, more $1 billion. Every American could have gotten at least $100,000 to put into the economy before we gave it to the Ukraine. Do you really think that investment went into fighting against Russia? This is a staged event over there. We all know what's going on. Russia's going to win, and then they're all going to have peace talks, and they're going to divide over the how the fuel will be, transferred out of the harbor, the Gulf. This is all about money, control, and greed, and it's big, powerful people. You got Putin over there, right? But let's not leave our senses for a moment that you don't think it's corrupt enough where Ukraine funneling all this over into this war situation with Palestine. Where's it going through? Well, we know the Saudis. The Saudis are actually they have some involvement, right? There's finger pointing at them. Could be. I don't know. Iran. They seem to step up right now. Iran has been single-handedly, committing this kind of activity for a very long time, and yet they kind of still somehow maintain. And we've seen recently Iran making some very bold statements about America, and it's brewing, guys. It's brewing, and so we're gonna, we're wrapping this up. We're gonna do like maybe 30 minutes of this on Lucretia Hughes's platform, and we appreciate the opportunity to be on here. We'll be on tomorrow, I think, again, or at least a couple days this week. And Lucretia Hughes, go and check her out. The Real News, Lucretia Hughes, Georgia. She has grown a very big following, popular down in the southern part of the country. We want to get her popular up here in Connecticut, so she'll be filling in for us here as well. She didn't know it yet, but I'm letting her know that's coming. So we'll be having her tapped into our site as well. And one of the interesting parts about what Lucretia does is she talks just like I do. That's the cool part about it. She just kind of, rips away at what's going on in the world. And there's nothing in America right now that is more pressing than our political system. And I say that in every way, shape, and form. Like, people are starving, right? People are hungry. People are going broke. Houses are going up, and there's not enough inventory for purchase. But there's too many people, and there's people that don't have jobs still. There's people that have not rebounded from the COVID situation. And we go into 2024 election, and you have a former president who has a track record of success. He actually had a track record of success in the Middle East. He walked in North Korea. I'm talking about Donald Trump. And yet we have a president now that the entire world has fallen apart under his watch. Fallen apart. And some people in America will still defend this president and say that he's doing a great job. His approval rating's high. It's all really not high, but you know what I mean. Whoever's doing it might be high. Because the reality is this is a country we're watching it deteriorate from within. Does anybody care? I don't think people really do care anymore. I think people are fed up, frustrated. All they want to do is go home, be with their families, lock their doors, watch their TV, get their food delivered, get an Uber ride. I don't know. No one wants to talk to each other anymore. It is a really suffering communities and country. And yet we're going to go into 2024 election with what? We're going to build up to some real good anger. We're going to have to get everyone angry, right? We got to get everyone ready to storm the castle in 2024. So Biden will start to throw out his daggers. But of course, nobody on that left side cares, concerned that Hunter Biden might be guilty of something. Does anyone care about that? Does anyone care if Hunter Biden actually gets found guilty and his father, who stepped up on a stage in 2020 and said, I don't know nothing about that. That's not true. That's not true. He's a liar. Trump's a liar. It's not true. And you see, because somebody like Joe Biden can get away with talking that way because the press eats out of his hand. He's been doing it for so long, and he's not, he's the good guy, right? And then, it's always fun because you got the good guy. And of course, you can't have a good guy without a bad guy. And in the press is, when they're writing this story, the Wag the Dog story that I've always talked about is one of the more, important movies, I think, that people, undervalue. But it tells a story about how Washington, D.C. creates news. And so Trump's been indicted for here. He's been indicted for there. He's going to go to prison. And he's going to go to jail. And you know what? I'm going to give the guy a big shout out right now. He's taking it on like a champ. He knows it's frivolous. He knows that it's an attack on him for his political situation. And quite honestly, he's not a guy that talks nicely. So I understand why a lot of people get agitated. But is the world better? Is the world better? Is America a better place today than it was yesterday or 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago? Well, 10 years ago it was Barack Obama, right? It was Obama and Biden. And you think about why I bring that up. If you go back even further into the Clinton administration, attacks in the, over in Serbia. You see, what Joe Biden has on his track record is not someone who avoids war. He's a war machine. Yet everyone on this extreme left side will see a photo of this gentleman right here and go nuts and say he's evil, he's terrible, he wants to kill people, he wants it. Not one skirmish, not one issue under his watch in 4 years. Not one time did we have a world power make a move or try to be. When they did, he had one situation that he inherited early on, and he dealt with it with direct destruction. But yet some people will continue the narrative that this guy, Hunter's dad, he's doing a good job. He's the president we need. You need a president that's going to defy logic and try to make things actually out of air happen, because that's what this guy does, and he doesn't do it very well. And the country is depleting because we have more homeless people in this country than ever. Crime is back on the rise. Defund the police, that whole movement, he took advantage of it. Joe was right out in front of that one. Defund the police. And I get the defund the police concept of conversation, because it's frustration from communities that have not been talked to, or they've been lied to by people like Joe Biden or people like the Democratic National Movement, the Marxists, those people in the socialist movement. They lie to these people to try to tell them that they're going to take care of them. You know what? I speak to these people on a regular basis, the people in these locations in cities like Columbia, South Carolina, when I'm down there, and the people of these communities are not happy with either political party. Like, they think Trump's a bad guy. They think he's a racist because media has driven that through their heads. And most of the people also say, but I'd rather have him than this other guy. And so let's close out our conversation as we wind down here on Lucretia Hughes' show. This is Kevin Allen, the Kevin Allen Show, the CT Cowboy. You can go check us out. Scroll right down there, click onto the link, and you'll be able to see all of our platform and more. And we're filling in for Lucretia. She's up in Washington, D.C. in the swamp with Diana and some of the other folks that are out that way, doing their thing, getting things ready for the battle that ensues. And, Lucretia is very heavily involved with the 2A and with the NRA and other platforms, Veterans for America's First. And so she'll be giving a full report to her entire platform very soon when she comes back. But make sure you stay tuned with Lucretia Hughes, the Real News. She's bringing it every day. So she does a Monday through Friday show. We're filling in today. And as we wrap it up, we're basically putting it down like this. The country's in disarray. The country is falling apart. The country is in a place in time and place, a time in history and place, where there's more people scared about what tomorrow is than ever before. Mental health is suffering. Hey, I'm open about mine. I can't wait to tell my story about mental health. It's actually a great story to tell. Alcohol has been the uptick of alcohol since COVID. People are addicted to all kinds of things. There's a breakdown in our country, and yet we have the greatest president ever, according to some. The greatest president ever. He's been doing miraculous things. He's been changing the world here in America, and no war and conflict has happened. I mean, we dumped $40 billion, if not $40 to $80 billion into the Ukraine. Nothing's happening. It's all good. His son gets indicted for gun charges. Nothing happens. It's all good. Now, by the way, I have predicted this. I want Lucretia Hughes' people to hear me. I predicted that Hunter will go through the process, get arrested. His son will pardon him, or by November or December, when they start to exit Joe Biden out of office. I just said it. If you didn't hear me, Joe's leaving office. Don't be silly for a minute. This is going to be a very good setup. The bait and switch here is going to be, you'll see the vice president take over. And when the vice president takes over, you're going to see that transition of power. Joe Biden will walk off into the sunset. He probably won't live long, because I don't think as he talks more, the Secret Service, I'm sure, or his detail is very nervous about how he talks, and some of the conditions he has mentally and physically are going to be challenging him. But Hunter Biden will get totally wiped clean. He'll get pardoned on everything. And the vice president, who we know will never get the nod to run for president, will probably get like Secretary of State or something in the next cabinet when we see Michelle Obama running in 2024. And I did say it. Michelle Obama is running in 2024, folks. If you don't think she's running, then you are not paying attention to what's going on. Oprah Winfrey is calling the shots, folks. Oprah's calling the shots right now. So give it a look-see, and you'll see that I think that it's obvious that that election is going to have Michelle Obama on one side, Donald Trump on the other, and it's going to be the ultimate battle down the middle. Of course, if she's not elected, it will all be racist, and it will all be racist, and it will all be about a woman. And if she is elected, then it will all be fixed, and it will all be because there was some kind of corruption. And we know that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to play down one of those two ways if these two face off in 2024. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that and more. We appreciate you tuning in today. Lucretia Hughes, her show comes to you Monday through Friday, typically 5 p.m., I'm told, but I guess it comes later sometimes. This is the live version we're doing right here. We'll be doing some more stuff on our own platform later. Maybe David can pick us up again and put it out to the folks and build some friends down in Georgia and throughout the southern part of the country that follow Lucretia Hughes and The Real News. We are the Kevin Allen Show. We appreciate you very much for coming on here and checking us out today and doing all the great things you do. You can check us out right here, The Kevin Allen Show. You can email us right here at thekevinallenshow@gmail.com. On all socials, you can see where that is. And you can catch where we're on. We're on the road a lot. We're going to be hitting the roads very soon. And so we'll actually be down in Georgia at Lucretia's house for a big event right here, the Saving Sinners Tour, which is coming on October 28th. And you see right here where it's going to be in Faith Over Fear Revival, Saving Sinners Tour, going to Georgia. Logan'sville, Georgia. We're going to be down there on the 28th for this big event. And these tickets are starting to pop now. So you want to go online, scroll down, hit this QR code, get your tickets now. You got all this amazing talent that's going to be there. Jimmy Levy's not going to be there. I got to get this poster off of here. Jimmy's not going to be at this event. He's going to be participating in other Saving Sinners tours with the revival moving around. But Jimmy will not be at this event. Everyone else here is scheduled to be here. So make sure you get your tickets today. And go and check out this great event. It's going to be down there. We know Bryson Gray is going to be there. Bryson just got married over the weekend. Shout out to Bryson Gray on his marriage, his wedding. It's funny. I've been thinking about marriage too, and it's kind of a funny thing because it's like, I don't know what Bryson's age is. He's got to be younger, a lot younger than me. Just it's been coming up because the country, the marriage statistics in this country are like they're in the can. So it's interesting to see why young people, and I'm sure because of his faith, that's what's moved Bryson into his move. But Bryson Gray, he's going to be at this event on the 28th. You're also going to have Topher, and Topher's I love this guy, man. His person, I've got a chance to spend some time with him in New York City at some event we were talking. He was singing, and I was talking at, and Topher's the real deal, man. You can check him out. Topher doing his real deal thing, walking around, asking people questions about the Bible, giving money away, interviewing people. Just a really good dude who, feels good, makes you feel good when you see Topher rocking it out there in the communities. And remember, we are bringing this all to you from the Ironhawk Financial Studio right here, the Kevin Allen Show. Lucretia Hughes filling in today for her platform, The Real News. Joseph Lombardi, he's the managing partner at 203-815-3673. Give him a shout today. He'll set you up for a meeting. Let him know the Kevin Allen Show sent you, and he'll get you all hooked up with everything you need in your financial world. Get your money back in your pocket, and stop letting Uncle Sam take it. Listen, we've been a proud member of this organization, POB, Patriots-owned businesses, okay? And the POB has been building and growing across the nation. Well, we're going to get some other things soon to be announced with POB. They're going to be partnering with some of our other projects. Really give them a big shout out. I love to watch this actually happen because this literally started from a guy and his wife just started a platform on social media, and it built up to almost 20,000 members. They are monetizing and moving forward, and they're helping people get exposed. And so if you have a business out here, I don't care if you're in Chicago, Connecticut, where I am, if you're down in Georgia, if you're in Alaska, I don't care where you are. If you maybe even in England, I don't know if you want to put one in. If you support, POB, the Patriot-owned businesses, then join this today. Join their platform and get on there. Get all the discounts, all the news that's popping. Very heavy in Texas. That's where we originally met with POB, and just really happy about what's going on with them. Hey, guys, get that coffee in the morning. Pour the Finest. That's right, Pour the Finest coffee. How can you find them? Just go to pourthefinest.com, and you'll be able to go right on there. This coffee was created by retired New York City detectives, great people. Talk to Jack. I got to get Jack back on once we do a few more shows here. Give him a shout today. Go check out Pour the Finest and get yourself a pound of this coffee in your hands today. Get a cup in your hand. You'll see why everyone is raving over this coffee. It's amazing coffee. It really is. Hey, if you're looking for a gun out there, Joey Guns, give him a shout today. Joey Guns is looking to help you on any level of your ammunition, any of the supplies, any of the stuff that you need to get your gun shooting sharply. Give Joey a call today, 860-317-1157. Check him out online at Joey Guns. Also, he is located right there. This character is real, by the way. This is real Joe, just a cartoon character made of him. It looks like him actually pointing guns at me, but scary. 1221 Norwich Road, Plainfield, Connecticut. If you're in the area, you can find it right over at K&H Equipment. K&H Equipment. Go and check them out today. MRCA, the Military Rodeo Cowboy Association. Go and check them out today. They are actually I think, scheduling their November event right now. So we'll hopefully get that from Dan, the Mountain Man, get it out to y'all and let you check it out. Hey, you looking for that right cigar to put in those fingers? Tight? Patriot Cigar Company. Check them out. Alan Jacoby, our good friend. Alan Jacoby started this cigar company, and it's blowing up, man. I see a lot of I watch the news on him. He's doing great things and just continues. So check out Patriot Cigar Company. You got a promo code over there, Kevin Allen. Check it out today. Hey, listen, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Lucretia Hughes, she'll be back later on in the week. She is in Washington, D.C. We're really privileged and honored to come on here and be able to fill in for Lucretia. We just kind of spitballed a lot of news, a lot of different topics. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And the one thing I can promise you is that at the end of the day, the better we can, this future of our country, the better we can start to work on, or the smarter. This sounds like I can't speak. When we can start working on talking to each other and stop arguing with each other and start hating each other, that's the way we're going to fix America. Not through all the arguments, not through the cable network channels, not through the arguments at the RTC and the Democratic National. These people, when you go into those silos, folks, you only argue with your fan base, your partners. What you need to do is get out of that comfort zone, right? Remember during the whole COVID, during the George Floyd, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Guess what? I'm taking that now, and I'm saying to you out there, Mr. and Mrs. I don't believe in America's patriotism right now. I don't believe in a country that is founded on Christianity. This is a country that has foundations on these fundamentals. And why? Because it gives us the structure to be the greatest nation on earth. And we will have that back. That title will come back to us because we don't have it right now. See you tomorrow on Lucretia Hughes' show. Thanks for checking us out.